Two men, one question, zero logic. React to that. Hello and welcome to a brand new podcast called
React to That.
A show where every other week me and Joe get together to discuss a very high level topic where me and him have an idea, a view, a plan to share with each other of how we get out of that situation, what we'd want to do in a situation, how we'd react to that.
Nicely put, Mark.
Thank you.
Love it. So in this first episode, this is the pilot, going to be a bit rougher than the next ones. Can't make that promise officially. In the first one, we're going to discuss, if you had a superpower, which superpower would you choose to help you rob a bank?
So it's very important, the mission to rob a bank, to do so. I've just actually repeated what you said. That's word
exactly
for word,
what you've just done. Thank you
in a different way.
That's what you can expect.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's crack on.
Okay.
Right, Joe.
Mark.
Let's hear your superpower.
Have you ever seen Bernard's Watch?
No.
All right, well, let's not go into it too much. But
I have, by the way.
All right, brilliant. Okay,
some people may not have.
No, that's
It's
true.
a very niche reference.
It's quite an old reference. I think it was a children's TV programme when we were kids.
Yeah, so we're talking 30 years ago.
Yeah, let's not age ourselves too much. But
5 years ago.
So my well, that's even weird. My power is to stop time.
Okay.
So literally, it's in whatever way, whether it's I dream of Genie or I click my fingers and time stops. I pause time for everybody but me.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So would you like any clarifications on that?
Well, I was going to ask how it would work. So you
Right.
said click your fingers.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think it, you have to actually physically click your fingers.
I'm going to say think it and click my fingers because I don't want to be like at a jazz concert and go, and then I'll lose the beat then.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't want that.
So you stop in time.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Bernard's Watch I watched. He once broke his arm.
Okay.
And he kept pausing time because he wanted to go on holiday or some water park.
Right.
So he kept pausing time and just lay in bed doing nothing.
Right.
And his bone healed.
Right.
And then he unpaused time and it'd been like an hour and the doctors were absolutely confused saying, how's this happened?
Yeah. Right.
So technically his body's kind of aging and still functioning at that point. So if you were to pause time for say 40 years, would you then unpause it and your body is like physically 40 years older? Or are you still the sprightly mid-30-year-old we see today?
That's the one we're going to go for. Mid-30-year-old is a damning reminder of the march towards death. I would say yes, I exist outside of time. So I'm not going to age. I'm not going to... Because that would be quite sad as well, isn't it? Because if I die, then, whatever.
Well, yeah, we're screwed.
Well, exactly. Everybody's screwed. You're stuck forever. So no, I exist outside of time. I'm not going to age whilst time is stopped.
Perfect. Because I always thought with Bernard's Watch, he's like leaving school at 16 with like a full beard belly. He's just... Because he's paused it that much, he's taking the piss a little bit with it. But just imagine like the school leaving photos, he's like receding hairline.
Yeah, he's cashing his pension in before he goes to college, yeah.
And my last one,
yeah.
Again, with Bernard, he had like some higher power monitoring. I don't know if it was a postman.
Yeah.
So are you alone in the universe? There's no like higher being making sure you're doing good or evil. It's literally just you.
It's me.
By yourself, thinking, clicking.
Exactly. Of all the available source materials out there for superhero powers these days, you've got your Marvel Universe and the cinema, DCEU, you've got that whole host of comics. I have picked something from a children's TV program. Now, there might be a character who can stop time, but in mine, no. There is no overarching power. There is no sort of omnipotent presence that sort of like knows about it. It's literally just me clicking
your fingers.
Time stop.
Not aging. You click it back and you are as we see you today.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yes.
So what if you hurt yourself?
That is a very good question. Because I'm screwed, basically.
You are?
Yeah.
Like if your hand gets chopped off or your fingers?
It's going to be hard if time stopped. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, it's improbable, isn't it?
I think I'm ready for you. Your master plan. So, Joe, you've got this superpower, stop in time, just like Bernard's Watch. Click your fingers, think it, bang, time stopped.
That's it.
But time stops for everyone. Because one of my caveats was going to be time stops for only you. And everyone else just moves on. So you're like a street performer.
But then I'm stuck. How do I get out of that?
Well, you're still thinking.
Right.
But you can just see everything moving
So I'm literally turning into one of those guys who sits on a wire.
Yeah,
Right.
nice little income earner. But you're stopping time technically for you.
That would be, you'd be able to set some records.
Or you could just listen to this podcast and that feels like it's time stopped.
That will do it, won't it?
Anyway, we've diverted.
Right, okay, so this is my plan.
Plan to rob a bank.
Well, yeah, it's like, it is made into a bank, I promise. Right, so before I stop time,
Okay.
I'm going to pick an enemy. Enemy of mine.
Right.
Right.
Do you have many
living
enemies?
Right. You're not living right if you don't have an enemy. Can't name them.
I think you have people who annoy you, but
No.
a proper enemy.
Got a couple of enemies.
Right.
One
I
of
don't
them was my neighbour.
Okay.
Knobhead.
Shout out. Number 37.
Represent Jim. It is.
Is it?
Yeah. Right, okay, so pick an enemy, yeah?
What now?
No, not you. I'm saying
you're
this is
picking
what
it.
I've done. So I've picked an enemy.
Your next door neighbour.
I've not picked him, but I've picked an enemy. Right? It could be.
No, you have to pick an enemy.
Yeah, but I picked him in my head.
Okay.
Or her.
Or her.
Or her. Mix it up. Equality.
Yeah.
Okay. So stop time. Now I want to stop time during a weekday.
I want to stop time. Fuck off.
I want to fast forward time.
So it has to be a weekday, does it?
Right. So I want to stop time during a weekday.
Is that?
When my
I'll stop.
enemy,
I'm going to let you speak. Actually.
Thank you. Right. Appreciate that. So I'm going to stop time during a weekday. When an enemy of mine, so I've sort of scoped this out, doesn't have an alibi. So they're at home.
Sounding slightly stalkerish here, Joe.
It doesn't matter.
2 crimes are being committed.
Well, you hold on there, son. So I'm waiting for when they don't have an alibi, but I do. So if it's during the week,
Yeah.
I could be at work.
You could
Right.
be.
Now, I sort of know this enemy's timetable by this point
Yeah,
because
'cause
I've
you
turned it
stalk
into exactly.
Yeah.
I've turned it into the Watcher. So
Stalker.
click, stop. Right.
Have you thought it?
I thought it at the same.
Because you
time.
can't just click. 'Cause you might be like listening to jazz and.
I've not just turned into a salsa dancer.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's fine. Or flamenco, whichever one it is. Both, maybe, I don't know. So yeah,
It's
I
not
stopped time. This is the important part of the story. So I stopped time. Head to their house.
So next door.
I'm at work. Now,
Technically, you're at work. Oh yeah, because you've paused time.
I've paused time.
I get you.
I don't. It's not time and space. We're not doing any Dr. Jazz on this.
So can things like can you use a car or
No.
so everything's like almost like it's been gorilla glued down?
In a way, but I know this is kind of weird because I couldn't remember from Bernard's Watch. So
It's
I
Joe.
can
It's your
manipulate-
it's your rule. It
Well,
doesn't have to be.
I can't create like
You don't-
engines or electricity to work because that requires a different thing. But I can
And knowledge, ability to do it.
that as well. I mean, that's the main factor. But I can manipulate physical objects. So if time stopped, I could still pick this picture up. I can move this microphone stand. I could push you over, but I can't start an engine. I can't use a computer. I can't do these things. So
But
it's
you can
more
only do that to things you'd be able to do normally. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't go to a boulder and pick it up.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's not like super strength. It's,
So
yeah,
you've
we'll
still
be
got
able to
your.
do- still the same.
You can move what
limitations.
you're physically able to move.
Exactly.
At the
Yeah,
moment.
so I've still got the same limitations. So go to their house.
How?
You've got an alibi. You walk. It's a bit of a long walk.
It's a long walk.
Depends where my enemy is. That they could be living near my work for all you know. Well,
Yeah.
for all you know.
So
know.
someone sat at the desk typing away, look over to Joe. A second later, they look back and you're just drenched in sweat.
Well, who knows how this is going to end?
Well,
I know, but you don't know.
No,
yet.
because you'd have to go back to work afterwards.
Yeah, but I could clean myself in a river.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I've tried thinking about this. Gonna go to their house. I've got an alibi. They've got no alibi.
Yeah.
Now, be wearing gloves and a hat. Not like the hat I'm wearing now, but a hat that covers my hair to stop the hair falling out. Just in case. There's a lot of insurance policies within my plan.
Are you thinking the word balaclava? Because
I
I
don't
do
wanna wear a
both
balaclava.
jobs.
What both jobs?
Well, covering your face.
Why do I need to cover my face? I just need to cover my hair so I don't drop anything with DNA. There's no one else out there. I know my face isn't nice, but I don't need to walk around with balaclava on. There's no need for that. So I go there. Balaclava.
You got your hat on.
Gloves.
Like a shower cap, maybe.
Shower cap's good. Yeah, like you get in a food factory or in a kitchen or something. Yeah. So go in there, right?
Needed explaining.
Yeah. Anyway. Steal something of theirs.
Right.
Driver's license or passport or a phone, something like that, something that's got their personal information on that can be directly traced back to them. Now I know what you're thinking. You could choose like hair, saliva, urine, you could milk him, you could do all these sorts of different things. Why are you looking at me weirdly?
Nothing. You're just going into your neighbour's house with gloves on.
It's not
and milking
necessarily
him.
my neighbour's house, but if they, not he or she, if they are on if they're not on the criminal database, then
Okay.
DNA is pointless, isn't it?
For them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no point getting their DNA. So we're going to get something else that links them to. So we're also going to steal some of their clothes.
Okay.
So they have to be a similar size.
Are they wearing the clothes at the same time?
No, they can keep their clothes on.
Okay.
Right, but they're a similar size to me.
Are they?
Hopefully. If not, I've got to steal someone's clothes that they live with that's a similar size to me. To be honest with you, it doesn't matter. I could be wearing a crop top walking down.
Yeah.
So it's fine. And a rucksack. Or failing that, a bag for life.
It has to be their rucksack.
All these things that have to do that, right?
Yeah.
So they need to kind of look like Herman Munster. And they've got to have a rucksack. So all these things I'll know, Mark.
Yeah, obviously.
I've stalked my enemy, as you put it. So then what we do, exit the house, go into the middle of the street.
And you've got all their stuff.
Got the stuff that I needed. Personal items that could be linked back to them. Clothes, back. Go into the street. Take all my clothes off. Leave them there.
Why do you have to do that in the street? Can you not just do that in the house?
Because if I do that, I could shed some hair.
Oh, yes, some skin, follicles.
Skin. Say, take clothes off. Put the clothes on that I've stolen from him.
Okay.
Her. Them. Right. Then I make my way into the city centre where the banks are.
Okay.
Right? Now, if luck was on my side, likelihood it isn't. One of the banks in the city centre, the route to behind the glass, where the tellers all sit, somehow the door will be open when I stop time. Now, likelihood is it isn't. I accept that.
You could wait until
I can't.
opens.
I'm not going to unstop time again. This is my plan, right? You might have a better plan, Mark. This is how I'm going to do it.
Sorry,
right.
I'm not here to critique you. I'm just here to listen.
Exactly. You're not here to talk, actually. So what we're doing is not we, right? Or them. So I've got the clothes. Make my way into the bank, right? If the door
What's
is
on your
open,
face?
What? Why do you want a balaclava on again? Nothing's on my face. I've still got the hat on. I've still got the gloves on. I'm wearing their clothes.
Okay.
Face, nothing. Perfect vision. Perfect speech. Perfect sense of smell. Perfect taste.
Okay.
Hearing.
Yeah.
My hearing shit, but you know it's good. I don't need any of these things apart from sight.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need hearing. Anyway, if the route is not clear, now I'm aware banks are about security.
Yes.
Right. So it's quite hard to access areas. So if these doors are locked, shut, the entrance is barred, what I'm going to do first is go around the bank, disable every security cam within the bank,
because
spray painting it.
You know how to do that, don't you?
Spray painting them.
Yeah, but you know where every single one is.
Well, I'll look around. I might not do them all, but as time stopped.
But don't they have them like behind like locked? So where the tellers are, there'll be security cameras there. But you've just said you can't get in.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. But the security cameras that exist outside of there, it's not.
Oh no, that's
really...
right, because the police do say if 50% of the cameras don't pick you up, they can't use the evidence.
But what I want to do is I want to create this sense of uncertainty, right? So the thing that we've got to remember,
you're creating that right now, Joe.
Exactly. The thing that you've got to remember is that when time is unpaused, unstopped, I just want to create some sort of scene that creates suspicious interest, rouses, you know, the noses of the authorities. So what I'm going to do, right, the door's locked, spray all the security cameras,
the ones you can see and access,
get into where the tellers are. Now I'm aware that the glass will be reinforced or the door will be reinforced. However, with enough time and using chairs in the lobby, or even going somewhere else within the city centre that's like got a battering ram, like medieval supplies or us, whatever shop.
And you're able to lift a battering ram by yourself.
Battering rams aren't that heavy. I've seen them on like Line of Duty and stuff. Yeah, I could go to the police station. I mean, they're not secure either. They do. Wilco's, they've got them. Other battering ram supplies are available. So do that. Get the fuck into behind there, right?
Yeah.
Take all the money you possibly can. Now it's not going to be vaults.
Because aren't they locked?
Prise them open. Just get. You've got all the time in the world, right? Now I know
you've not got all the strength in the world, though.
Yeah, but you could create a lever, a fulcrum, some sort of like. Get a crowbar. When you get in your battering ram, get a crowbar.
Yeah,
right.
It might be a discount, like an offer,
2 for 1,
like a meal deal.
Bog off, one of those. A meal deal. Yeah, you get a kind of monster with it at the same time. But it doesn't matter if there's meal. Anyway, it's free.
Oh, so you're stealing from shops now?
Doesn't matter.
Well, that's not ethically.
It's shops that are big, sort of, that don't pay taxes. So then get all the money possible. Put the thing that you've stolen from them, the personal item that links to them, in an inconspicuous place.
As if it's fallen out.
As if it's fallen out. And it's upon the route that you use to enter the teller's area. You leave. Mm-hmm. You go back to someone's house. Could be a neighbour, could be them, could be anybody. Right? Yeah. Could be any enemy. So you do that. Go back into their house. Yeah.
Yep.
Take clothes off.
In their house?
No. Take the clothes out in the street. Put your clothes back on.
Okay.
Right. Keep the hat. Keep the clothes on.
Obviously.
All times. go into their house, put those clothes within the washing machine. Obviously, you can't turn it on, but you can set it so it will turn on. Press all the buttons, so as soon as like the electricity and everything goes back on, it'll start up and all that sort of shit. If possible, not incapacitate, but somehow move your enemy into a position where they think they've blacked out.
Okay.
So, lead on the sofa, in bed, on the floor, whatever. You can close their eyes and all that sort of stuff. You know, like dead people do on action films when they put the fingers down their eyes. So, you've done all this now, right?
Yeah.
You then leave.
Okay.
Take the money. Take that. Now, reality is you're probably only going to have like thousands of pounds. You're not going to have the vault's worth, are you?
No, you're not going to.
No. So there is a stage 2 to this plan. I'm not going to go into in depth, but this is just seed money. So
okay.
You've probably fucked this knobhead over.
It's like money heist, isn't it?
It is. I'm a genius, right? It's foolproof. So you've got your seed money, and then you start gambling.
Okay.
But you gamble on things. At first, you deliberately just bet on anything, lose things, but you bet online with your own money.
Right.
Bet online with your own money. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you start going into bookmakers, right?
So what's the online thing got to do?
Just so you start a pattern of you gambling.
Okay.
So if anyone looks into it, I don't know why the police are going to investigate this deeply into it, but if anyone looks into it, they're not going to know.
They're not.
Right? Because spotlight's going to start getting shone on you further on we go on this plan, right? I'm not going to go into detail, but then you start using the money and then you start going into actual betting shops.
Okay.
And you use the money that you've nicked to place the bets.
Yeah.
And then you place the bets on things you can directly influence. For example, you go to a boxing match and you could influence the outcome by stopping time and like moving someone's fist out the way, moving their block out the way, so they're gonna get hit. So you can heavily influence it. Even football, you could do things at the right time, like whatever, sort of penalties out, whatever. To do all that shit, and then you just gradually grow bigger and bigger and bigger until you've got so much money. Then where'd you go? Vegas. And then you put all that money on that circular thing, roulette,
because you could pick the dice,
pick the ball up, but to make it look not suspicious, like, I mean, not that they think you can stop time anyway.
You're going to lose some, are you?
No.
Oh.
I was going to close the croupier's eyes. So bet it all on black or black 20. I've never been on a roulette table. And then once you've done that, you're a millionaire, mate. And then just do whatever you want. Gamble now and again. I mean, I did come up with quite a few ideas that would get me in prison. I mean, this would if I got caught.
Yeah.
But I mean, would you get caught? How would that stop? Because you could stop time.
You might get banned from the casino, but I don't think you'd get caught
instantly. That's why you do the bet straight away, because I know straight as soon as the security or the person in like the big monitor room notices what you're doing, they're going to ask you to leave. So that's my plan. That's how you rob a bank and make more money with my ability to stop time.
So just a clarifying question: in this plan, how much are you stealing from the bank to start gambling?
Whatever's in the till stuff.
No, well, tell me.
£5,000.
So you want to have this whole creation of going through all that kind of hoo-ha for £5,000. Surely there's an easier way to get £5,000.
Because this is 2 stones, 1 bird, isn't it? What it is you're potentially fucking up your enemy's life. Yeah. Because they're going to get brought in for questioning.
But then they say, well, look at the CCTV.
Covered it in spray paint.
The whole of town.
What? Can't talk, can't lie. Exactly.
You said that with so much confidence.
I don't know where I heard that. So you do that. It's not going to make sense to the police, but they're going to clutch straws at the only things they can make sense of. This guy has washed his clothes. He's left his mobile phone at the scene of the crime. He's done all these things.
It just seems a lot for £5,000.
Yeah, but that's this. Well, admittedly, there is potentially better ways to utilise that power.
Especially because you're going to lose half of it or whatever. But so you're doing that for £2,500. Why don't you just go to Vegas with the £5,000 and just keep betting it up?
Yeah, because you want to like sort of.
But no one's going to go.
Mark.
That guy over there.
Yeah.
He's winning quite a lot. So the Vegas security got on the phone and went, "Can we just check the Paddy Power shop in Preston? Because I want to know if he's got a track record."
You don't want to create any media interest. You don't.
Joe, you've not got media interest now. Joe, who's the last person who won £1 million in Vegas? Name one person.
Steve Pemberton.
There's no media.
Who's the League of Gentlemen?
There's no media attention.
It could potentially be, Mark. I don't think you're taking this seriously enough.
I think it's overthought.
No. If anything, that might be the greatest plan I've ever come up with.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, good.
There's no doubt in that.
I thought it was quite good. I mean, admittedly, I did focus more on the gambling thing.
You did.
And admittedly, you don't really need the bank part for that plan, because you could start off with a fiver, really.
Yeah.
But we agreed to include a bank robbery in this scenario, so that's where I am.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You're doing kind of the main story and then what you do with the money.
Exactly.
I've not included that. So what we do now is I can add a rule in.
I imagine any rule will topple this house of cards that I have built around.
It might slightly inconvenience you
right
to some point.
Okay.
So my rule is you can still think it.
Yeah.
Pause time and time is paused.
Yeah.
But whenever you pause time, you turn into an earthworm.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So you've got the same. You've got kind of Joe's consciousness. So you still think the same. You've got no predators because you've paused time. So it's not like a bird's going to come down and eat you. But you can only do things a worm can do. Now, I'll be kind.
Yeah.
Like when you shrink down to a worm, your clothes as well shrink down the same. So when you go back to you,
it's a pile of clothes.
Yeah.
Right,
so when it goes back to you, you've got your clothes. So imagine like a worm. I don't know about that.
I don't think that's worked right anyway. But yeah, go on.
So so the worm goes down to you. So you don't have to worry about being naked when you unpause time and come back to yourself.
Yeah.
So that's my.
If anything. Mark.
So how are you going to rob a bank? Does that affect your plan in any way? Would you say?
Well, it helps me actually get into the teller's area. Doesn't
exactly.
It?
You could wiggle through.
I could wiggle under the door or through where they speak.
Yeah.
It might take a long time.
I mean,
do you reckon?
Considering you have to pause time to get from your office to your neighbours.
Oh, I didn't think about that bit.
To then somehow pause time and steal his licence or milk him as a worm.
I mean, it might be easy to milk him as a worm. Have you seen The Boys?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, similar to start of season 3 of The Boys, I think.
Yeah, but have you seen a worm?
I've seen a worm.
They're very small.
Well, admittedly, how long do you reckon it would take a worm to crawl 5 miles?
I think I read it was about...
What's the travelling speed of a worm?
13 months.
Thing is, that's not the bit that daunts me. It's the 13 months in my own head with no one else to speak to.
Yeah.
God knows what would happen with that.
Are you still sticking with your plan?
I might slightly tweak it, but if anything, the worm bit might help. So if I slightly tweak... If I need to get through, like, bars...
Exactly, and if there's a boxing match you want to throw and he's just about to throw a punch, a worm can quite easily crawl up someone's leg and push that fist out the way.
Do worms have mouths that can make any impact on...
They've got 5 hearts.
On boxing gloves.
Worm's got 5 hearts.
Have you done research on a worm for this question?
Everyone knows that.
Well, I didn't know that. I know that... how do you tell... I don't know the joke. How do you tell which end of a worm is which?
I don't know.
You put it in a plate of flour and wait till it farts.
Right.
But then I'm pretty sure Ricky Gervais or Carl Pilkington says what happens if it sneezes.
Good point.
So, yeah. So if it's a worm, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, that would be a bit of a dampener on my thing. The thing I thought you would have said is that it stops time for you as well.
Well, that's pointless. I did think about it, that.
Yeah.
But I thought that'd just be pointless.
Well, being a worm's a bit pointless, isn't it?
You could do that to, like, if you get asked a hard question, to think about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't see much point.
Do you know what? The only way you could utilise that is you're going to have to go full on bank robber sort of vibe.
As a worm?
No. You don't pause time or anything. Just go in, guns... Again, I do not endorse this. Go in, guns blazing, shotgun, fire at the ceiling, demand all the money, right?
Yeah.
Get given the money.
Okay.
Leave. If...
I mean, technically there's nothing stopping you doing that now.
Well, the thing is, if you're about to get caught, stop time, wriggle away.
And then you're just life on a run.
Well, you're on the crawl, aren't you?
On the crawl, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll do that.
So you're still happy with that?
Well, I'm not happy, but I'll make it work.
Would you?
Yeah, I'll make it work. You could get into places. You know what I mean? Like, you could crawl through air conditioning. Well, I don't know, actually. Worms can't climb, can they?
Yeah, they can.
Can they? I have never seen a worm on a wall.
Have you not?
They can't climb, Mark.
Maybe not. I would actually worry, though.
Right.
Because I read a worm can't be in sunlight for too long because it then gets paralysed, because obviously it's used to being underground. So if it's in sunlight for too long, you'll get paralysed. So that 14 months crawling...
Is it because of the heat or just the light? Well, the heat won't... Oh, I suppose it'd be the same as when I paused.
And the light as well.
Right, well, I'll have to keep taking breaks then. crawl for 3 foot, burrow down,
in
chill
concrete.
out. In fact, would a worm be quicker going through soil than it would be crawling on top?
I don't know. It sounds like a science experiment we could try.
Right. So what have you got?
Okay, so my superpower is the ability to speak with animals.
Okay.
So technically everyone does have this ability anyway because we all talk to our pets.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah.
I can understand them, they can understand me.
Yeah.
But also, Joe, very clever, I'm sure you say, humans are animals. So technically, I can now speak every language in the world because I can speak with
That was one of my
different
questions.
people.
Well, not about humans. Does it apply to foreign animals?
Yes.
Right, okay, sorry.
Any animal.
Any animal you can understand and they can understand you.
Which is classed as an animal.
Right. When you're speaking to the animals, so say if you walk past and there's a squirrel and you start speaking to the squirrel,
Yep.
and then a human walks near you, what do they hear you doing?
They probably hear me, like Dr. Dolittle,
Right.
like squeaking.
So they, right.
Very similar, if they see me speaking to a French person, they hear me speak French.
Right, okay.
So what you hear an animal making the noise of
Yeah.
is that me making that noise to them.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That is all the clarification I needed.
Well, not too much.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Okay, so this is how I'm robbing the bank.
Right, you can speak to animals, you're going to rob a bank.
Yeah. So I'd employ a bunch of earthworms to sneak through the keyholes and open up the doors. And I'd promise them like luxury compost heaps. Only the best
screws.
screws.
Can climb.
See, I also thought about this, and I thought I'm thinking of like 1960s banks. They don't have keys anymore, do they? It's all
But what's
cards.
the difference is about that climbing?
Yeah, but that was my throwaway plan.
Right, okay.
I've
so
actually
that's
got a
not your
proper.
plan.
That was my original plan, but I thought
Right.
if the bank isn't from the 60s and doesn't have keyholes,
Yeah. So
I need to think a bit
digital.
more.
So you painted a QR code on a worm.
Not quite.
Right.
So I'd hire some rats to storm the place.
Hire them.
Hire them.
Right.
So I'm paying them in
Yeah.
cheese or whatever they want.
Okay.
Now I'm talking thousands of rats.
Right.
These rats are going to storm in
Yeah.
and cause chaos.
Well, that would be terrible.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah.
So everyone's like screaming. They're trying to get on chairs to get away
Yeah.
from these rats.
Yeah.
Now they're not going to attack anyone.
No.
I'm not about that.
No.
Just cause chaos
It might
and
be a
scare
rogue rat
people.
that does that.
No,
No.
because I spoke to them.
You
We've
can
had a
get some
debrief.
dickheads.
I've
Right,
done like
okay,
a
you've
training
done
and
everything you
induction.
need to do, right.
So only the best behaved street rats, obviously, because they need to look a bit gruesome. Like
Street rats.
yes,
You know that means something else as well, don't you?
I don't.
Right.
I'd also hire some male mosquitoes. Now the males don't bite; it's the females that bite. So again, I'm thinking safety first. I don't want to hurt anyone, but they're going to start going in as well. Thousands again, flying around.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Right.
So you've got thousands of rats,
Yeah.
thousands of mosquitoes,
Yeah.
buzzing around, running around.
Sounds horrible.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Can you think when that's happening?
What can I think?
Would you
What
be
if
able
I was
to?
in that
Yeah. Would you
situation?
be able to think?
Oh no, blind panic.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's panic around.
Yeah.
I'd then hire 3 hamsters.
These all come in with you though, because it seems like you're hiring them while you're there. So
No,
you're
I've
waiting
hired
for
them
some
before.
mercenary hamsters
I've hired them all before,
Right.
and they're going in waves. So
How have you got to the bank with all these animals?
well, they've snuck through a sewer. There's a way to get.
There's a way.
No one's going to notice. There'll be a
No
way.
one's going to notice thousands of rats, thousands of mosquitoes, and 3 hamsters.
So I've got 3
Like,
hamsters.
shit, notice that.
Okay, and they're going to sneak in.
Yeah.
So when people are panicking,
Yeah.
they're small enough. No
Yeah.
one's going to notice them, and they're going to sneak in
Okay.
and steal
Yeah.
people's lanyards. So they're going to sneak in
Yeah.
through this little vaults or wherever people sit and steal the manager's lanyard, which has
Right.
their ID badge on.
Sure.
Hamsters have really good teeth.
Yeah.
They can gnaw.
Yeah.
Massive gobs, so they can hide the ID badges, so no one's going to know any different.
Yeah.
And I once had a hamster escape in my house and it ended up in the loft somehow. No idea how it got there.
Yeah, I've heard they're quite impressed. Yeah.
So we know that they're agile, they can move.
Did you find it in the loft?
Yeah, we heard scratchings
And
one
you actually
night.
brought it back alive?
We went upstairs
Wow.
and we had to like get all the insulation out, and
Bring him home.
it was quite a nice little thing. So yeah, they are little crafty little buggers.
Yeah.
No one knows how it got there. I don't need to ask. I just give them the job.
Yeah.
This is what I want you to do.
Okay.
So as I say, they'll find the staff, steal the ID badges, chuck it in the mouth,
Yeah.
and they start to make their way to a hidden space. So as this chaos is happening,
Yeah.
I'm then employing 5 horned lizards. Okay?
Right.
Because we all know horned lizards can
More
shoot
staff than
blood.
others.
They can shoot blood out of their eye.
Do you know what? I didn't know that.
You did?
Yeah.
I told you, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So they're going to go around
Yeah.
and start squirting the security cameras so they're blanked.
Right, it's not a stupid idea when a lizard's firing blood out of its fucking eye, but spray paint.
I've got mosquitoes.
That'll stay on it.
I've got mosquitoes everywhere in the building telling the lizards where the security cameras are. So I thought of that.
How can they speak to each other?
They can't, can they?
No. I'm pretty sure a lizard would eat a mosquito.
No, they're all in on it. So
the mosquitoes are going to relay the information to you, and then you're going to tell the horned lizard where the security cameras are.
Like Tom and Jerry, they'll form into like an arrow shaped, like a couple of them, and point to it.
Idea.
There you go.
Right,
Managed to get away from that.
Yeah.
So next up is our friend the ants.
One ant?
No, thousands.
I mean, we're slightly near copyright there, so just be careful how you go now.
So we've got thousands of ants, and they'll form a line from a hidden, not hidden, just like a drain, all the way down.
A lot of drains in this bank.
To the bank offices.
Yeah.
No, it's just one drain.
In the bank.
Now we know ants are really good at locating things, so.
Yeah.
Do you know, like Age of Empires, where you used to send your villages out to explore and it opened more of the map? Yeah. I'm going to send like a few hundred out to do that.
Right.
And they're going to find out where the vaults are.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So they're great at finding that. They'll split up, find it, and then come back and tell me where the treasure is. No, not tell me. Form a line, go into the treasure.
So it's almost like a little ant path that leads to the vault for you. Right.
And you know, like when you're in an aeroplane and they say when you're going to crash, the lights will light up on the floor so you can see the way.
Yeah.
So the line of ants is basically telling us where the treasure is.
Are they lighting up?
Oh, they could do. Are there any ants that light up?
No, they don't, but you could get like fireflies or something. That'd be quite nice.
No, it's not believable, that is it?
No,
bit far-fetched.
Exactly. Don't suspend that disbelief anymore.
So we've got this line going to the vaults.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Remember our friends the hamster?
There are 3 hamsters that are in
three of them.
Hidden space.
There was 3 because I thought there might be some collateral damage because someone might stand on one, for example, in fear by mistake.
Got to be honest, Mark. I think most of these animals are dead at this point. Apart from that.
So they're going to follow the ant line.
Yeah.
To the security door.
Yeah.
What's in their mouth? Oh, hello. The manager's ID badge.
Oh, hello.
Pop it out.
Yeah.
Scan it.
Yeah.
Boop boop boop. Doors open. Hang on a minute. What's that noise? I can hear flapping from afar. It's our trusty pelicans.
I thought it was going to be pelicans.
28 of them.
28.
So I know.
So how much can a pelican fit in his beak, Matt?
You'll be surprised.
I would not.
So, now hamsters are obviously going to be jealous of the pelicans because they can fit more in their mouth than the hamster.
I've seen some videos of hamsters getting stuff out of their mouths.
Not compared to a pelican.
Well, admittedly, no.
So that's something I've thought about, and we've had some mediation in the past. Everyone knows they're doing it for like the greater good. So
for the money, really.
Well, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Treats or whatever. So the ants, as we've got thousands of them, we know they're strong. They start loading the pelicans' mouths with the money. Loads of money in these 28 pelicans' mouths. Okay.
The ants are loading the money in the pelican's mouth.
Have you seen how much an ant can lift? I mean, you've got thousands of them.
Yeah, but that's relative to their size, isn't it?
No. These are big ants.
Oh, so the massive ants
The bullet ants come in.
I mean, they're good at hurting people, aren't they?
Well,
they have that glove that you put your hand in as a rite of passage somewhere. I can't remember where it is. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
In an indigenous tribe somewhere.
But anyway.
Yeah.
The ants loading the pelicans' mouths up.
With money. Right.
And then, or gold. No, it might be a bit too heavy for the pelican. And then the 28 pelicans then fly out the building because amidst the chaos, there's still a line of ants.
Yeah.
So they can follow the line of ants.
Yeah.
And escape.
On the floor. So pelicans are waddling out of the bank.
No, they're flying.
Pelicans with famously wet mouths and beaks.
Have you ever put like a £5 note in water? It's fine.
I suppose they
and it will look used, so people aren't going to quote.
Yeah, fair play.
Okay, this is the master part. This is the really clever part.
Oh, this is right. Okay.
So now, the pelicans are flown off to where I'm like hiding, the secret location.
Yeah.
I'm going to send 42 puppies in. What? What's that you say?
Yes, yeah.
That's right. 42 puppies are running into the building.
Yeah.
All the other animals are escaping down the sewer, following the trail of ants.
How's a pelican getting out of the fucking sewer?
They've flown away. They can fly.
Right. Sorry.
Learn to listen.
That's
this is important stuff.
What's happened to the mosquitoes?
They've flown away. They've followed the ants thing and they've flown away and
they've gone now.
They've gone. They're male ant mosquitoes, so they're not going to bite you, so you're safe. So I'm not causing any trouble to locals. The rats have gone back into the sewer.
Yeah.
Playing with the turtles, whatever they do down there.
That is what they do. Yeah.
Hamsters gone back to pets at home or wherever they've come from.
Right.
So we're safe. So these 42 puppies now are in there.
Yeah.
And you think if you're in that situation where you've just been so scared of being bitten, being probably that's all it isn't being bitten.
Well,
So suddenly, there's all these nice little puppies. So their emotions...
Still be scared.
No.
Yeah.
42 puppies. 32, maybe. 42, no.
Still be scared.
So they have completely changed their emotion. They're in this kind of weird state of being...
Yeah.
Almost like they've taken like loads of acid, loads of weed, and they're just so mellow and so happy and want to hug everything.
It's a damning indictment of your past that you say they've taken loads of acid and loads of weed.
Yes.
Right, okay, sorry. Carry on. You know you could achieve a similar thing by just releasing a rhino in there or something and just smashing through.
No, because that's not as fun.
Oh, fair enough. A blue whale.
Well, that's going to die. How am I going to get a whale, a rhino in...
A rhino?
Yeah, I'm going to get a rhino in Preston. That's never going to happen.
It doesn't have to be in Preston, does it?
Well, this one is. This one has to be.
Oh, right.
So as I say, now they've got all these puppies.
Yeah.
They're not going to press the security thing to call the police because they're going to think, well, then the police are going to come and stop me.
Would have been pressed.
No, it's not.
It clearly has.
And stop me from stroking these puppies.
Right.
So it's going to be about, what do you reckon, 2 hours for them to actually say, oh, actually, they're going to snap out and go, actually,
for the sake of
I need to do that. Now the clever thing is, again,
another one.
These puppies are innocent, so it doesn't matter if the police come, because the security footage or eyewitnesses will say all this chaos happened. They didn't see anything being stolen because it's all going off.
Mark.
But these puppies came in after the crime had been committed, so they're not going to be thrown in prison. They'll be fine, Joe. And
none of them are going to be thrown in prison.
They've got 3 strokes.
Right. Well, let's not talk about.
So they won't get arrested.
Brain attacks or anything.
So then I'm there on my secret.
They won't get arrested. A pelican is not going to get put in handcuffs, is it?
No, if you've got like an angry dog, they could be put down. Animals have been put down.
Yeah, all right, Mark. I know they can. But
they'll be exterminated.
Those 3 hamsters, put them down. Find those pelicans.
Yeah, but you won't see the hamsters because there's the rats and the mosquitoes.
You're not worried about. Right. Okay. And in what world, in any lineup, are they going to go? It was that rat.
Well, exactly.
There's
1,000 of them.
And plus, the puppies are guilty because you've paid them to be a distraction. No,
but they've just wandered in. If there's a bank robbery that's just happened, and you walk in straight afterwards,
right?
You've not committed any crime. You were out of the building when it happened. You've just merely walked into that building.
But that's not what's
after
happened.
A crime had been committed.
But that's not why the puppies don't just happen to be walking past and happen to walk in. You have convinced them to walk in.
So you're telling me
how you
there's a
convince
detective
a puppy to do anything who have the attention span of a second, if that.
There's a detective sitting there thinking these puppies will win on this.
Yeah, poor bloody Columbo's like, I just want more thing. This puppy is
trying to interrogate them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never going to happen. So they're safe.
And how have you not been identified in this?
Because I'm not involved. I'm not there.
You're not there?
I'm nowhere near, mate.
Right, okay. Where are you?
Probably at home.
Probably at home.
No, I'll be at home.
And have you rigged up any of these rats to have cameras on so you can keep an eye on it?
No, I trust them.
Right, so
we've gone through rigorous training.
So not only have you talked to the rats, you've explained the directions via the sewer to the bank.
It would have been my bank. So I would be able to go in and explore it and go back, and then I'd be able to kind of paint the picture. I'd like make a little model, so they can understand what the bank looks like. Show them pictures.
Where are they coming from?
The sewers.
Right.
You're
going to have to work out to tell them to get there through the sewers.
I only need to make friends with maybe 4 rats, okay?
Right.
And then they can recruit other people.
So you're farming it out.
Well, I'm not going to engage with 1,000 rats, Joe.
Well, I don't know what you do.
That's ludicrous.
Well,
I'll have 4 ringleaders.
Yeah.
And they will be responsible. I mean, let's be honest.
Again, responsible.
Let's be honest. If there's 800 rats there, you're not going to see. There's not 1,000 here. There's only 800. They're still going to cause chaos. So it doesn't matter if they under recruit.
Yeah, but if there's 5, it won't cause that much chaos.
No, not with the cheese I'm offering.
Oh right, okay. So there's a lot of Gouda involved, is there?
Loads.
Right. I don't know if rats and mice favour cheese, do they? There's
no mice.
There's an author called James Herbert, and might have pronounced his name correctly, which is quite hard for James and Herbert, but he wrote a book called The Rats. Read that. Oh.
Has he stolen my idea?
I mean, he might have done, and then went back in time, but it is possible.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
Can I give you an issue for it?
I mean, anything you do, I'm sure. Is this issue changed since you've heard the story?
Nope.
Okay.
Right.
That worries me.
You can speak to animals.
Yep.
But every animal in the world thinks you're a dickhead.
Well, that's fine, because we all have worked in the past.
They hate you. They will not do anything for you despite the price. They despise you.
So my first job, I despised my manager.
Right.
But they were able to provide an incentive to me, aka money, to work for them and do the job. So I don't care.
You've got a mortgage to pay for. You've got a family to support. You've got all this sort of things. A rat's got none of that.
Yeah, but they want the cheese, Joe.
Right, so you're just arguing with the premise that, right, okay, fine.
So I don't care. I mean, it hurts a little bit, let's be honest.
What, 1,000 rats going?
Because you're saying every animal hates me, which means every human hates me as well.
Oh, yeah, you're hated.
Which...
You're despised. Everybody thinks you're disgusting. When you walk down... Sorry.
Well, that's even more motivation to get the money, because then I could, like, buy a private island and just escape and live myself in solitude.
With a load of turtles swimming past going, wanker!
Give them a little wanker sign with a fin.
Exactly, with the flipping. Yeah, well,
I don't think that would change anything.
I think it
because I might have to pay them more.
Right.
I might have a few dropouts. I might have a few snitches, so I'd have to wear like a balaclava so they don't know who I am.
How's a hamster going to grass you in? Write your name and it's shit.
There could be 100 hamsters who form themselves in a little image of myself.
There was only 3 the other day.
Because if you want to, if you look down, and you see like 100 hamsters in the shape of my face, they kind of position themselves so they look like my face, different colours, so there's like different skin tones. They can do that, and they can say this is the guy who did it.
So Neil Buchanan's involved.
Exactly, but if there's only 3 hamsters, I mean, you can do 2 eyes and a nose at best.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So whilst it would hurt,
it's going to be a massive face. You'd only be able to see it from the air.
100 hamsters, they're quite small.
I don't think you'd
Siberian hamsters. Are they Siberian hamsters?
Syrian.
Yeah.
Well, I think you get Russian dwarf ones.
Yeah. Are they from Siberia?
I think they're from Russia.
It's the same.
Is it?
It's a region.
Oh, is it really? I don't. Outside of Lancashire, and that's pushing it. Not a clue.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
very well travelled.
I think, though, now you put that rule in, I don't want my superpower.
According to you, it'd still work.
No, but I've chosen not to have it.
Oh, you don't want everyone to hate you?
Yeah.
That wasn't an option. Was it? You can't go, I don't want it now. Mate, I can stop time and turn into an earthworm. So, I mean, admittedly, that's not as bad as everything.
You're only an earthworm whilst using your power.
Exactly.
I am constantly hated.
Constantly hated. Yeah, that's not
Which, and as I say, it kind of backfired on me when I said I could speak to every human as well.
That's where it backfired. Because I hadn't included you. That's the only thing that's slightly changed. You decided to define humans as animals, which technically are fine, but I was never going to include humans.
So instead of everyone who's ever met me hating me, everyone who hasn't met me now also hates me.
Whoever was, and whoever will be, and whoever is, hates you.
Right.
But that's basically it.
There we go. So there are 2 superpowers.
I think your plan is awful.
Why?
I just don't think
I thought it was genius.
Well, I thought mine was genius, so it shows that we're both a pair of idiots, doesn't it, really?
I think that's the conclusion we can have.
And it also shows that we are inspired by children's films as opposed to... I still read comics as well. What is going on? So that was the very first episode of React to That. As you can see, that's the sort of calibre that you can expect throughout the series that we keep releasing every couple of weeks. If you've got any ideas or suggestions or thoughts on how you think had the better idea, obviously me, send them in.
Or ideas for future episodes.
Oh, yeah.
What's your ideas? Because me and Joe are running out after episode 1. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so on our Instagram page. It is React to That Pod. All one word, no spaces. React to That Pod. Over and out.
React